student was strong enough in herself to stand up to all of the social pressure and to actually be an activist against this secretly fascist movement.
That's her.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that
I
very
mean, it
much.
gives me faith in humanity that maybe it was only one, maybe you counted for maybe 1% or 5% of the population, but at least there is that 1% or 5% who will do that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, the experience was particularly challenging for me in a variety of ways, but one of the ways is that the experience was like a microcosm. My father's career meant that we moved on average every 13 months of my life. So my entire upbringing experience was that of being on the outside looking in and trying to figure out how can I, in this very short time I'm going to be here, how can I make friends, how can I feel a sense of belonging. So I was new in the school that year, and then to have this casting out of the movement was like a double whammy, and it just like a repeat of my entire life. It was a microcosm in a variety of ways around issues of not being heard as well, but that added to the challenge. I think I'm going to comment briefly while I have the mic here. I've often wondered what this experiment would have been like had there been an element of love or compassion in the way that the movement ended. My own philosophy, and I've been teaching at universities and graduate programs for about 20 years, what I think has really worked in the classroom is to try to create as much as possible a trust relationship with students and to go out of my way to never violate that and to just try to build on it every time we meet. I think that's really vital, and when I hear of a teacher who harms or violates that trust, ethical questions emerge for me. I'm very, very happy that these students featured in the film learned so much and benefited so much from the third wave. That's wonderful, the kinds of things that they learned. At the same time, it doesn't erase for me the ethical issues that are raised by this, and I would like to see more in the film about the ethical dilemmas, and I think we're going to keep talking a little bit about how we might add a little bit of a component, because I don't feel that they're adequately addressed to my own satisfaction at least. But to go back to the comment about compassion, what I would like to have seen is for there to be some process for us to address what happened once it took place. There was an assembly you saw where Hitler was introduced as the leader. I was called back from the library after the assembly was over, had been banished to the library for the rest of the year. And when I came back, the students, some of them were crying, they were hiding their faces in their hands, they were hanging their heads. And what struck me so much was the climate in the room was exceedingly cold. My personal memory, and maybe somebody remembers it differently, but my memory is that some of the students were told that they were really fools. I remember many harsh comments in trying to share with Ron the scope of what I had done to resist. His response was to look at me very coldly and just walk away. He never acknowledged it. I think a profound learning experience was lost. I think a transformative moment was lost in that the situation was not handled in a loving or compassionate way. It was a loss of a teaching moment, that he was not able to hear that one student had done the very things that he would have wanted the students to do. So these are difficulties that I have with that experience. I'm going to stop talking so much here.